Okay, again, I have a tongue tie. If you're just gonna mock me for not being able to pronounce common words correctly, just scroll. Anyways, this video is what happens when the policies I've mentioned have failed. And I think my screen's a little blurry. I'm sorry if it is. I'm recording these back to back to try and get them released tonight for those who are curious. So let's say the worst happens, right? A meltdown, contamination, catastrophic failure on the moon. You'd think there'd be a safety net, right? Like, logically as humans, we always are there to assume there is. Well, let's talk about what happens when the rules fail or get ignored entirely, which is what's happening right now. So, the first part of this video is what rules are currently in place right now. So, there are two main treaties. In 1967, we have the Outer Space Treaty and the 1979 Moon Agreement. Sounds official, right? But there is a huge catch, and I want to break that down. So the Outer Space Treaty says you can't weaponize space, contaminate celestial bodies, or claim the moon as national territory. Which you think would stop most countries, right? Wrong. But then you have the Moon Agreement that says space should benefit all countries, not just the rich one. So here's the but breakdown. The US never signed the Moon Agreement. There's no enforcement mechanism for either of them. So you break it, there's no jail, no fine, just vibes of cancer basically raining down on us. Second part of this video is what happens when countries break these agreements. So nothing, actually. Seriously, we've already seen it happen. And let me show you, or explain to you how. So countries like China and the US have run missions with clear military potential. Satellite destruction tests have created space debris, and they have not had any consequences. So it's already happening. Countries just say it was for science or peaceful purposes, and then they move on. And we're not holding them accountable, and the science and STEM community really should be. These treaties rely on good faith, not laws, not punishment, it's trust. And we know, if you are in the United States, you know we cannot trust our own government as it is, and we never have been able to, regardless of your political affiliation. We can at least all agree on that, correct? Yes, I do. And we're not even getting started on China. So the third part of this video is what happens if a moon reactor actually fails. If there's a meltdown, there is no rescue. There's no cleanup, no international court to sue for damages. So the breakdown of this is the moon has no atmosphere. Radiation then, that means it spreads faster and farther than it would here on Earth with an atmosphere. Space debris or radioactive particles could contaminate lunar ice, orbiting satellites, and even fall towards Earth, which is more likely to happen. Now, no country is required to help in this instance, you guys. No one is required to stop it from happening. That's why I'm speaking out about it. If a company or country screws up, that's it. Too bad. You guys all get cancer and F the rest of the future generations. I mean, we can do better than the boomer generation. I'm not saying all boomers F future generations, but you guys know what I'm talking about in the specific boomers I'm talking about. That being said, the fourth part of this video is why we need to reform before launches happen, which is scheduled again in 2030. Once the reactor is up there, it's too late to negotiate any safety rules, and that's the major issue. So the breakdown is we need legally binding space policy reform now. We actually need it, like, before I was even born in 1995. Like, we needed it way before then even. We need clear accountability as well, especially for systems that contaminate with reckless technology that is not made to be off of Earth yet. We also need independent global oversight, not just billionaires and governments making backdoor deals, because that is how it gets people killed. That is how people die. That's how future generations are screwed, and that is how we're going to continue to wreck Earth and every lunar, basically, planet around us. Because the next space disaster might not fall directly on Earth right away, but it's going to affect everyone on it. And that's the entire picture I'm trying to paint for you guys. So, no consequences equals no caution. And when you're dealing with nuclear tech in space, that's not just risky, that's highly suicidal. Maybe not for the generation doing it, but for the future generations, it's suicidal. And that's the unfortunate reality of this entire thing and why I'm saying something.